Hi, my name is James Lavenue.
I'm Brooke Grindinger.
Hello, my name is Amir.
And I am Ashley Humphrey, and this is our voice assistant business plan. When we ask what voice technology is and where it is heading, we first look at the strides it has made through Siri, Alexa, and OK Google. When Siri first came out in 2011, they were the first to market their intelligence assistant. They stuck with a voice-activated assistant that was available to the public with the purchase of an iPhone. Alexa, coming out in 2014, wanted to take on self-service virtual assistant technology. They created a separate device completely dedicated to a virtual assistant. They have developed it into a with user-friendly commands and specifically targeted the needs of their customers. Google took its time to develop something that would incorporate the AI assistant technology and also takes pride in how well they developed their language recognition. We have utilized this technology through devices as well as through separate devices such as Google Home. While we were a part of the leaders of the first rounds of trends for voice technology, we want to be the ones who bring voice technology to the next level. We are prepared with the new trend that is going to take over voice technology. So we have to ask ourselves, what idea will make Google win?
Thank you, Ashley. So that brings us to some of our main points. And the first of which would be consumers' issues with voice technology. And so according to studies, nearly 40% of consumers are worried about being recorded by the microphone in their smart device. And frankly, we've given them reason to be. And as you know, we're currently in the midst of a lawsuit dealing with us allegedly selling user data after they inadvertently activated Google Assistant. And some Google devices will even respond to you when they have the microphone turned off. For instance, you could say, "Hey Google," to a device with its microphone turned off, and it will respond saying that you have to turn on its microphone for it to hear what you're saying. But the mere fact that it's responding means that it is listening. And my point is that we have to focus on improving our privacy policies, as well as refrain from any kind of data sales regarding Google Assistant. And doing this will put some consumers at ease. Next, what kind of improvements need to be made to our voice recognition softwares? Well, for instance, we need to calibrate our software so that it's able to differentiate speakers' voices from background noise, as well as the voices of different speakers. And we also need to improve our software's ability to recognize foreign accents. We need to improve our software's natural language processing, which is essentially its ability to comprehend a statement rather than just hearing it. And Google Assistant needs to improve on its answers. It must give precise answers every time to reasonable questions, and when needed, cite a source of information. So lastly, we need to implement some machine learning into our voice recognition software. And while this is a controversial subject, we believe that the public, when shown the potential of machine learning, will come around. And as far as speech recognition, we here at Google lead the industry. Google Assistant is actually able to correctly identify 77% of words. And lastly, so how do we monetize our voice recognition software? That's the main question. And so one option would be advertisements while using Google Assistant. However, we decided to not go down that road because we felt that it would reflect poorly on us with the public. We could charge a small fee for the use of Google Assistant, but we would expect that to be highly detrimental, even more so. Instead, we hope to utilize technology that much of the public doesn't even know about. Over the past couple of years, we've been developing the Pathways Language Model, or PaLM. And this is an algorithm that can carry on a conversation with you, similar to the way that I'm talking right now. And PaLM can even perform reasoning tasks better than the average person. And combined with machine learning, PaLM has even begun to understand and be able to explain jokes. All that being said, we have the ability to design and fully automate a software that can reason better than the average person, It can perform tasks, converse with a speaker, and even sound like a human while doing it. And with that, I'll leave it with Brooke.
Thank you, James. So one of the biggest ways that we need to monetize the voice industry is to find a niche. We need to find a place where people are willing to pay for this new incredible technology that we have been developing over at Google. One of the main problems that we see in the general public is that there's a huge lack of secretaries. This is one of the large groups of service workers that, since the pandemic especially, have really taken a downturn in the numbers that are available. So the secretary simply is becoming a thing of the past. Harassing the person at the desk for the cup of coffee, sadly, is going out the door. Currently, the only solution we have is now, for example, when I was calling American Airlines to change my flight, I had to wait, or I got a projected wait time of 32 hours. That's unreasonable, and it has such an easy solution. We have the technology available to really take this problem and take it by the horns and earn some money off of it. If you wouldn't mind switching to the next slide. Thank you. So we have the technology. The natural language processing is similar to what James was talking about. It's very much a conversation. Understanding what's going on with like translations, information retrieval, sentiment analysis, everything. You see it in the Siri, you see it in Alexa, and you see it in OK Google. Another leg up that we have is the Tensor chip. This is enhanced machine learning, and it's really able to recognize speech and to translate in real time. And similarly, the language model LaMDA is a newly released by Google. So it is part of our repertoire of technologies that's already readily available to be implemented. And it stands for Language Model for Dialogue Applications. Essentially, dumbed down to way too far, it's a chatbot. But it has enabled the technology to be able to learn from the person who it's talking to, in addition to being able to talk in a more conversational way rather than when you're talking and it's very point blank. For example, the way that they demonstrated this in the conference, the new technology, was they had a conversation with the dwarf planet Pluto. LaMDA was in charge of being Pluto, and then people were allowed to ask questions. As you can see on the left, where somebody said, "It sounds beautiful," referring to Pluto. LaMDA said, "I agree it was worth the trip. However, you need to bring your coat because it gets really cold." This goes above and beyond what we currently have for natural language processing. It takes what the sentiment is from the person. It sounds beautiful. I have a positive sentiment, and is worth the trip. Get the coat. It's an added thing that has not been seen before. And it has been able to almost reach a like conversational piece that is similar to talking to a human, which is exactly what we're going for. If you wouldn't mind switching to the next slide. Thank you. So this enterprise is on the horizon. We have been putting a lot of time and energy, and specifically 10 to 15% of our overall energy usage here at Google has gone into AI research. There's been a lot of research and development here. No lie, it's very expensive, and we haven't really gotten back on it. Everything that we present to the community of consumers has been received kind of meh. There hasn't been a lot of outstanding realizations or outstanding involvement with the community for AI. This changing market of losing a lot of secretaries really calls for innovation and leaves room for the consumer, for the businesses to have a new technology step in. Next slide, if you don't mind. Thank you. So with that, we launched Google Secretary. Google Secretary is going to be the online partner of businesses. Everything that your secretary can do, Google Secretary is right on track to do. Some of these tasks are going to be scheduling appointments very easily with the natural language processing in the LaMDA. We're going to add those together, and we're going to be able to use Google Calendar and just add appointments via the phone. or in addition, in person, we're presenting not only the online service of phone calls, a desktop app, but we're going to have a Google Secretary screen. This can function as something you set on your desk while you're working, and it can transcribe everything you need to know, real-time translations if you're having a need for that. It basically replaces all of the simple tasks that a secretary used to be able to do. And heck, it might even be able to go get you a cup of coffee through some sort of food delivery service. Next slide, please. Thanks. So to make money off of this incredible technology, we are pitching the subscription service. We see a huge range for the money that we could earn from this. And in the graph below, you can see that the average salary range for a secretary is about $28K. Do we expect this the first year? Absolutely not. We expect this to be our long-term return, to eventually get to the point where it replaces that. The costs are a little bit less, so we can expect about $20,000 to $25,000 per business per year to pay for the subscription service down the road, maybe 5-10 years when the technology has really matched what we're asking for it. And the physical device, that could be a source of income. Yes, but we feel it more as a selling point, similar to how Amazon is selling Echoes and Alexas for next to nothing, if not free, to really hook the user on the ease of voice technology. Next slide, please. Thank you. And that's.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay, I will go through our implementation process and milestones. We want to create a personalized assistant. Our concept to market time is 2 years from now. With all being said, we will create the concept of personalized voice assistant to sell it to businesses, like personalized secretary for managers, like we discussed already. But we have other concept in our mind, like going through grocery stores. A very basic example is to assisting customers to find items in the store. Like you can push a button and interact with a voice assistant, and you can ask different questions about the grocery store. Another concept is hospitals, to help doctors transcribing patients' medical history, or in assisted living facilities, because elderly people prefer to interact with voice assistants rather than working with technology directly. And also like call center automation for companies. It will take 1 month from now to our voice assistant team complete the concept through user research and feedbacks. In 6 months, we can create the MVP, minimum viable product, and introduce it to our selected business customers. And during the next 6 months, we can get feedbacks through iteration and debug the errors of our AI. And typically it takes 2 to 4 months for cleaning and training each neural network model. The next important objective is to close contract with selected businesses, like Walmart, like hospitals, and so on. In 1 year, we plan to use renewable energy source for central AI machine to address the energy usage problem. Google used 50.5 terawatt hour of electricity in 2020, which 10 to 15% of that used for AI centers. Solar energy costs almost 10 cents per kilowatt hour, meaning that we need to invest $10.5 million on solar energy to address our electricity usage problem. And KPIs, our main objectives are increase the customer lifetime value, by 5 to 10% to reach a reasonable customer lifetime value in 5 years, and also decrease customer acquisition cost by 10% each year. The average customer acquisition cost for a small B2B SaaS company is around $300, according to First Page Sage studies. And in 2 years, we will be able to completely activate a trainable voice assistant to help our customers through business to business to customer business plan. It is going to take us 2 years to train and merge all neural network to make the voice assistant interactive for special usage. Next slide.
Overall, we see a huge trend of cheaper and faster ways to communicate in the business world. Our new trend would sufficiently help businesses connect with their customers in these ways. With our idea, we not just want to sell to businesses. Our goal is to hold the capability to distribute our product to consumers as well. Going forward, we would also love to see a big use of our technology into more social functions, with one specific area of interest being speech therapy, but we are not limited to just this. Thank you.